Ba-da-da-da. This is the millionth iteration of the Addams Family. Okay, exaggerated, but it seems that way. I thought there was the TV shows and the 2 movies, but I looked it up, and apparently there's been many other iterations. Of course, it started as a comic strip by Charles Addams, which was adapted later for a TV show. So besides the movies and the 60s TV show, there was other attempts at a TV show, live action, and actually one starred, I don't remember this one, late 90s, I think. Daryl Hannah was Morticia, and Tim Curry was Gomez. So I don't remember that one, or maybe I'm blocking it. So Sony Pictures brings us the Addams Family in animated form. The voices are Oscar Isaac as Gomez. Morticia Addams is voiced by Charlize Theron. Wednesday Addams is Grace Moretz. And Stranger Things star Finn Wolfhard, I think that's how you pronounce it, plays Pugsley. Now that's a strange casting for a Pugsley. He doesn't sound hefty. This Addams Family is more of an origin story where Wednesday and Pugsley are not yet born, and Morticia and Gomez have not yet tied the knot. So that's where we start the movie. They're tying the knot, and in this scene out of Frankenstein, the town folk interrupt their wedding and run them out of town, essentially, because they're freaks. And that is the theme throughout the movie. When they finally move into their ghoulish mansion, and below in the town there's this modern day town. So now we're looking at a modern update to the Addams Family. So we have social media, and we have this one character voiced by Allison Janney, who's sort of this real estate TV personality, and she basically runs the town. But as with most Addams Family, this human is up to no good. And of course, she's trying to poison the town against the Strange family that moved in at the top of the hill. They're ruining the image for her fabricated town, which she is trying to sell to her audience. The story centers around Pugsley and Wednesday Addams for the most part. Pugsley is about to go through a ritual, sort of a bar mitzvah, but the gothic version is he has to prove his manhood a certain way. So he has to learn discipline. And Gomez thinks he's up to the task, and he's trying to rein in Pugsley. So it's an uphill battle. So that's one. And then Wednesday is going through a bit of a rebellious stage. She has friended the local girl, who's sort of this preppy looking person, and she's the daughter of the main character, who is played by Allison Janney, the real estate TV personality. One of the ways Wednesday rebels is she tells her family that she wants to go to the local high school. Of course, they're mortified that she wants to leave the home, but for the story, you have to in order to bring these townspeople into their lives. And there she meets Allison Janney's character's daughter, and she's sort of rebelling against her mother too. And so Wednesday, I thought was funny. One, she rebels by going to a regular high school, and she makes friends, even though you think she probably won't, but she does. And then she dresses in pink with a bow because she knew it would tick her mom off. And so I thought that was really hilarious. And there's some other funny moments with her. I'm not sure if the Addams Family needed a new iteration. I did enjoy the movie. I thought it was hilarious at some points. But it was slow. And I think a lot of the humor, although there was a lot of satire and humor and jokes at the expense of social media and reality TV types, I think is going to go over kids' heads because it was very adult. And I mean, it makes sense because it was a comic strip and it probably was originally targeted for adult consumption. But here you have an animated movie, so maybe they'll get it. I'm not sure, but I thought the humor was very adult. So kids might be bored, I think. But I don't know. But for adults, at least the adults, you'll have fun. If you're a fan especially, you'll have fun with these characters. The most fun character I've always liked, Wednesday Addams. Essentially, Gomez and Morticia don't have much of a storyline. They're pretty much dealing with their kids and their rebellious state. The other aspect of the story I was trying to get used to was the fact that we go into town a lot, so we're around humans. And in the past, well, one iterations that I've liked, the 60s show and the TV shows with Angelica Houston and the late great Raul Julia, they tended to take place in the home, and we would occasionally go out into the human world. But in this movie, we spend a lot less time in the Gothic mansion and more in the town, or maybe equally, but it felt like there was more screen time in the town. And when you watch a Addams Family movie, for me, we're used to seeing them in the setting of the mansion because there's a lot of funny gags in the home, but I guess it's been used, so I can understand why they went a different route. The modern take on the story, it felt a little out of place, but I think for younger generations, it just makes it a little more relevant in the fact that we have sort of this influencer and we have a lot of commentary on social media, so kids might understand that. But for me as a longtime fan, it was a change, and a change of pace, which I guess you have to go to, because if there's going to be another iteration, you can't play the same jokes over and over again, and the gags about the house and the special abilities of the characters. I think the voice cast was excellent. The only one I had issue with was probably Charlize Theron as Morticia. I mean, she grew on me, but initially I thought, not the right tone, but you get used to it. And I love Grace Moretz as Wednesday Addams. I think she captured the spirit of the character and the tone, so I really enjoyed that one. Pugsley, he was cute. I was surprised that it was Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things. Usually they have a hefty kid voicing Pugsley, but it grew on me. And of course, Oscar Isaac, as always, he's always great, and he was perfect as Gomez. Ultimately, the message of the film is that you should be accepting of everyone, regardless of their views and their looks and whatever it may be. So that's a nice little takeaway for the family. So did we convince you to go see this movie? Let us know in the comments below.